Thousands of criminals, illegal immigrants, set free all across America. Now, ICE is blaming the looming sequester cuts for the detainees' release. So what does the White House have to say? Well, the White House claims they didn't know anything about it.
This was a decision made by career officials at ICE without any input from the White House as a result of fiscal uncertainty over the continuing resolution as well as possible sequestration. As ICE made clear yesterday, the agency released these low-risk, non-criminal detainees under a less expensive form of monitoring to ensure detention levels stayed within ICE's overall budget. All of these individuals remain in removal proceedings. Priority for detention remains on serious criminal offenders and other individuals who pose a significant threat to public safety.
Congressman Ted Poe is vice chair of the subcommittee on immigration and border security. He joins us now. Jay Carney says that these people who have been released still are subject to removal proceedings, but the fact is they have been released. They're out. And you have written a letter to Secretary of Homeland Security Napolitano. Why?
I want to find out, first of all, what was the legal authority. Normally, when somebody's put in jail, it takes a judge to put them in jail and a judge to let them out, not some jailer automatically let them go. So it seems to me that this is a organized government jailbreak, so to speak, asking her, what's your legal authority, who did you let go, and who made the decision to let these people out of jail? Well,
apparently they don't know. The president doesn't know. The White House doesn't know. I don't think it says they both claim ICE, which is a division of Secretary of Homeland Security. I think you're going to say they don't know.
Well, I'm a little suspect or wonder about that comment. It's just like Fast and Furious. We have no knowledge of this. So that's even more disturbing if the White House or ICE didn't approve this or know about it. And some low-level jailer said, we got a problem here. We're just going to let a few thousand people out of jail.
They didn't even have a problem. They had fiscal uncertainty, meaning they didn't know what was going to happen in the future. They actually didn't even have a problem.
That is right.
It's even worse.
That's right, because the sequester's coming and they're saying, well, we better plan for this. Somebody did, apparently, and said, okay, let's let a few of these people who are in custody illegally in the United States, charged with crimes, let's let them go to prepare. I think this is part of the whole, as I call it, the tour de fear on the part of the White House to scare Americans about what's going to take place because of this little 2% deduction in the sequester.
Well, Jay Carney, I mean, he's really delusional if he thinks that the fact that they are subject to deportation hearings, having been released, means that they're going to come back for those deportation hearings. I was a criminal defense lawyer for years. If your client got out, your client didn't stick around and volunteer to come back.
No question about it. And I was a judge for 22 in Texas. And so these people are released under their I promised to come back for my deportation hearing. Are you kidding me? These people don't come back. Once they're out of jail,
well, why did he even say
leave.
that? Why did he, I mean, like, what is wrong? Why did he even say that? I mean, it's like, do you think he's not a lawyer, but why would Jay Carney, I mean, he was reading from some talking points that someone handed him.
He wants to scare the American public, and he may have in this. And, of course, the local sheriffs, law enforcement, they didn't even know about this. All of a sudden, they've got more criminals that were in custody, have been released back on the streets. Why wasn't local law enforcement notified about it? And then the White House, I say, well, we don't really know who let these people out of jail. And so we want to find out.
I hadn't thought about it, but the fact that the judge puts them in jail, pursuant to an ICE request, no doubt, and I mean, you can't get out of jail just because ICE all of a sudden wants you. You've actually got to go back to the judge. The judge is the one who's actually holding the person.
That's right. The judge sends an order to the jailer. I'm putting this person in custody. Normally, the way it works in almost every place in the country, the jailer, the sheriff, the police chief comes back to the judge and says, we want this person gets out of jail, or we want this person out, or he's released. The judge orders it released, not somebody who says, well, we got budget things coming up. Let's clear the jails.
We have uncertainty in the future. The White House doesn't know who did it. No one apparently at the top of Homeland Security doesn't know who did it. Obviously, a judge apparently didn't do it. A judge is supposed to do it, and nobody knows nothing about nothing, and they're out.
And they're out. That's the worst part about it. No accountability, and they're running loose somewhere in America.
This is getting nuttier every night. Anyway, nice to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Greta.